Hey there guys, it's Tina and I am back and it is time for another shopping. Did that scare you at all, or was I just looking crazy again? I think I'm just gonna start out all these shopping block videos looking crazy because I want to get your attention, wake you up, and let's stop shopping together. Like, that's what we're gonna do, right? So the aim of these videos is pretty much to be an anti-haul, to block the shopping demon that is in all of us, that has been tickling on our little shoulder over here, trying to get us to shop, and we're like, no, get away. We're not trying to do that today. We're trying to step back a bit and let these collections pass without us going crazy, especially with the holiday season upon us and all these brands damn near losing their minds with these endless releases. We have to take a step back and just let it marinate and look at these products for what they are. They are just vying for our money, okay? They are trying to get in our wallets and take all our cash. And we don't need to do that because we have enough makeup. Look behind me. I have way too much makeup, so it's easier for me to say no to makeup nowadays, and I've been on this little makeup journey, so I find it a lot more easy to say, no, thanks so much. Thank you so much. I want no parts of these collections. Nothing that your releases entices me. But I know not everybody is there with me yet, and these videos are meant to try to dissuade you from spending all your dollars. So I'm just gonna talk about products that have been like really at the forefront of everybody's minds right now, like they're really being pushed out to us, and also products that I've been asked about, like, are you gonna pick these up? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's go ahead and start out with the pink elephant in the room, or should we say pink pig in the room, the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collection. And it's not just makeup. There is merch and all these things released in this collection. But on this channel, we focus on makeup because I will get into the merch. I'll mention the merch a little bit from now. But let's talk about the Jeffree Star times Shane Dawson collection. Now, this collection was preempted by a series on Shane Dawson's channel that covered the entire process of creating this collection, between picking shades and names and all that stuff. But this collection has really been in the background for over a year now, since Shane Dawson did his first series on his channel. I'm sure you guys know by now who Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star are. Jeffree Star being the largest beauty influencer. I think he may be neck and neck with James Charles, and Shane Dawson is one of those comedians here on the tube, so you probably know who these people are, so I'm not even going to dive into who they are, and I'm also not even going to get into how problematic they are, because if you're any kind of discerning viewer on the tube, you already know the history with these people. If not, it's simple. Go ahead and look it up. All the scandals that they've been involved in, all the racism, blackface, just being malicious people on the internet. You can find that. I don't need to delve into that with you. But these are two of the largest influencers on YouTube coming together and merging their audiences and their platforms to create one of the largest beauty related launches we've ever seen. It was massive. It was a marketing genius. I mean, we've been thinking about this in the back of our heads for about a year because it was already spoken about that they were going to release a collection together. And this series from Shane Dawson, he's been hyping this up on Instagram, Twitter, all over the place for the past, what, like 10 months they've been working on this. So this series follows like the making of the brand, the making of the makeup, the different merch items. This followed the entire series. And if this wasn't a build up, I don't know what is. This was foreplay that was just like, oh my God, by the time you hit the climax, I'm sure you're like exploding out of your pants. This is how crazy this build up was. And it was ridiculous the kind of pandemonium this created in the beauty world, okay? Online was a fiasco. There were websites shutting down left and right, and they did a simultaneous launch in store and online, so you could go into Morphe stores and check the collection out. That created another havoc because there were lines like all the way outside of malls just to see this collection. It was ridiculous. And I must admit, honestly, truly, it was a little bit nostalgic to me because I remember joining lines for MAC releases. Yeah, I was crazy too. because there were limited quantities and you had to be like in the line as soon as the store opened for you to get your hands on one of the items. So I was happy that people were able to like enjoy this, and I'm sure people are gonna have this as a memory that they can share and think about, like, remember that time that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson like did a crazy release? People can talk about it and have fun moving forward. But and however, what is this? What is this that people are going crazy about? Is it just me? Is it just, let's talk, okay? So there were 2 palettes released with this collection. We have the larger one, which is the Conspiracy palette. And if you watched the series, you saw all that went into doing the packaging, selecting the shades, the names, all this stuff. And this palette just fits in with Jeffree Star's aesthetic. Like, it's big, it's gaudy, it's ridiculous. It has clasps. Like, come on, are we serious? It is so ridiculous. And inside we have a row of neutral shades. Okay, cool, cute. Then the center row are bright, like bold pinks and yellows and like an orange. And then the bottom row is more of a, like a sultry line of colors with this light pastel blue. And honestly, looking at the colors, it looks very boring in comparison to what Jeffree Star has always done. Like his, I believe, what is it, Blue Blood, some red palette, and he's done just bold, colorful things that are just out of the norm. It's not what everybody does, and that's what makes him stand out in the crowd. So people that are into that will gravitate towards his brand. But this palette now has more of an accessible shade range that more people can use in their everyday lives. Most people are not gonna wear bold colors every day, right? They're gonna gravitate to the neutral shades. And this was mentioned in the series. I did watch the series. It was mentioned in the series that most people use neutrals, and that's a given fact, which is why all these brands do neutral palettes. So I think that first row is a good row to have if you're a neutral person, and then you have that row of colorful shades. But then if you're into neutrals, when would you wear these bright shades? Let's ask ourselves that. When would you wear those? And then the bottom row, which is more sultry, are you going to wear those 2 silver shades? Because there are 2 silver shades in this palette. Let's just talk about it, all right? And on lighter skin tone and maybe even a medium skin tone, these seem okay. But on darker skin tone, these are gonna be ash-tastic. That pale blue is gonna be very pale. The top row, there aren't many caramelly shades in that lineup. And then the colorful shades, okay, you can make colors work, but if you're darker, do you really want this though? Because it seems like just the bottom row and a couple of the darker shades are really gonna work for you. Other shades are just gonna be a little bit too stark on our skin tone. So then the second palette is the Mini Controversy palette, and that has 9 shades versus the 18 of the Conspiracy palette, right? And this one is a neutral palette with 2 blues and a purple, and the center shade, which is Diet Root Beer, is a repeat shade from the Controversy palette. So if you bought both palettes in a set, you would get that repeat shade. I don't necessarily think that's such a bad thing, because this medium tone brown shade is one that most people can get a lot of use out of. So if you have a repeat of that shade, I can still see you using it quite a lot. Now here's the thing, I got to see this palette, specifically the Mini Controversy one, in person. I tried to go into the Morphe store to see the other one, but I called, okay, and they were like, there's a line, and I'm like, no, I'm not joining no line for no foolishness, you crazy? So I went the next day, and they still had a couple of the Mini Controversies on display, which was surprising to me, but I was able to swatch the display. And the 2 blues are okay. I think the matte blue is the prettiest one. The other blue I had to build up. And like I said, the Root Beer shade is a nice caramel shade, but the other like light shades, I wasn't gonna use those. Those look so chalky and choppy on me, and the purple was a little bit dry. But I don't know, like I feel like you already have these shades in your collection, and if you're into blues, you already have blues similar to this, and you don't need this specific palette. And with the Controversy palette, do you need that either? Like, look in your collection, do you really need that palette? And even if you're like, oh my god, I'm a fan of Jeffree Star, I'm a fan of Shane Dawson, and I want this launch to be so successful, because the way they played this up in the docuseries, or the way Shane played it up, was almost like he was an underdog and he wants to win so bad, and you guys are like, oh my god, let's make him prom queen, because that's like the song, that's the theme song of the whole series. He'll never be prom queen. So you feel like, oh my god, I relate to him so much. Like, I never felt like the prettiest one. I want him to have a huge launch and make all this money. And you feel that connection. It's an emotional connection, because we always root for the underdog. Like, we want them to win. We want them to get the girl, right? Guys, these are millionaires. We're talking about multi-millionaires. Jeffree Star is rolling in cash. Like, Jeffree Star could care less about you and your minimum wage job, or you asking your mom and dad for money for you to invest in their product. All you're getting in return is eyeshadow. You don't have a personal connection with these people. They're not your friends, okay? You're not a part of this exclusive club or anything. You might feel like you are, but you really aren't. You're just putting money in their pockets so Jeffree Star can buy more Lamborghinis and more Birkin bags and buy a bigger mansion and just jet set around the world while you're at your 9 to 5 saving towards a vacation. That money can go towards saving for that. So they don't need your money, sis. They already sold 1 million palettes, and this collection is permanent, and they're already talking about new collections. Excuse me, why are you doing that? You don't need this. You do not need this. Go in your collection right now and find something similar. You better stop it. I am telling you right now to stop it. And let's talk about the liquid lipsticks. So there are 6 liquid lipsticks. They're like a pink, a red, a bronzy, taupey. I don't even know what that is. The Shane shade is ugly as hell. You don't need that, and it comes in a set. Are you gonna buy that set for real? Don't buy that set. Look at the colors. Are you gonna wear anything in that set apart from the red? And if you like a red shade, you probably already have one, but those shimmery shades, what are you gonna do with that? And that light pink, who is that gonna look good on? Who? You're lying to yourself. Don't get that. Do not get, stop the foolishness. And then there is a gloss. What is it? A clear gloss that's called Shane Glossin. And people, I didn't get that for a while. Can I tell you? Because I didn't realize that it was like Shane Dawson and it was Shane Glossin, and it was supposed to be cute, and like, girl, that was so lost on me. I was like, what? I don't get it. Till somebody like really enunciated, and I was like, oh, okay, sis. And then there's a lip balm, and apparently there are like issues with grains in the lip balm now. And then there are hairs in the palettes, and palettes are coming broken and all kinds of drama. Okay, if you sell 1 million palettes, girl, there's bound to be some issues. Y'all out here just chasing this dream that you cannot fulfill because you ain't getting a Birkin bag. You are getting powdered earth. That's what you're getting. That's what you get. Do you no, you don't need it. Stop it. And can we talk about the merch for a second? Who is wearing this pig bag? Are you wearing? No, I am not a clone. You're not gonna catch me out here in a pig bag. I can probably understand you kind of want to be ridiculous, and you kind of want to be like, take that, haters. You call me a pig and oink oink, and you call me fat. I'm gonna wear my pig bag and show you. Is that really what we're doing? And then there's a mirror. I mean, the mirror is a little cute, but why do I need a pig mirror? For what? For what? But I can get, like, if you wanted to get a piece of this, like, the mirror would kind of be like a cute in between, like a compromise. Like, it's not that expensive, and you still get like a piece of, like, why? But why though? And then isn't there a tracksuit? Is there a tracksuit? I think so, in his merch line. And then there are 2 makeup bags. All right, the makeup bags are more practical. So if you really wanted to get a piece of it, like, you're gonna travel with that, so if you're gonna use it, and they look pretty decent. So I don't know, like, I don't need to make millionaires richer. I don't need that. All right, I need to go to Bora Bora my damn self. So here what me I gonna do? Me I gonna put my money towards that rather than towards this. So you can do the same thing, sis. We're not getting this. No. Nope. All right. Let's talk about the other elephant in the room, Tati Westbrook. No, should we actually talk about Jaclyn Hill first? Because I feel like Jaclyn Hill kind of bumped Tati under. So number 2, let's talk about Jaclyn Hill and these highlighters. Because as soon as her reveal video went up, somebody was like, Tina, what do you think about this Jaclyn Hill release? And I'm like, what do I think? I feel no ways. I don't care. I am a Marion in this situation. I am so unbothered by this. I could care less. But I will say this. I will give her props. Her release video where she spoke about the collection, because I watched it. The release video was much better than the lipstick launch. She had more close-ups up. She could have done better though. But she tried. But I'm going to show you how simple it is to do a close-up of a product. Right now, I have like a Canon 80D. I have Glamcore lighting. That's it. I don't have soft boxes. I don't have a production team. It's me and the camera. And look on this. You see that? And that was quick. I could show you the label. You could look at it, right? Look at this highlight. Oh, look, look. Do you see it? Yep, beautiful. You see the texture, everything. I'm gonna swatch it. Do you see that? Ready? Are you ready for it? Boom. Do you see that? Oh, my hand looks so dry and ashy. Lord Jesus. That's how simple and easy a close-up shot can be. But she did try this time around. So we saw close-up swatches. We saw the products. So there are 3 highlighter formulations. Yeah, right? There is a pressed palette version. So these are in quads with 4 shades, and they're 2 shade selections. So one's like light medium and one's like deeper, like darker, whatever the frick. I don't care. There are just 2 versions of it in pressed highlighter format. And then she has a loose powder format, but it's more of a all over powder. And then there's a second loose powder format that is more intense and more shimmery and in your face. And there are 3 brushes also available, right? Did I get all of that right? So she's releasing that collection. She did the video. Check her out. I don't care. But I think she's a little bit late to the game. She should have made this her first release, because that would have just made more sense. Everybody associates highlighter with Jaclyn Hill, so you would think that would be her first release. And she said she's been working on this since January, I think, like with production and everything. So these have been in the works, and I mean, it's not like an awful collection for her to release. I don't think like if she had released this first, it would have gone over as poorly as the lipsticks did. And these look cute, but is she too late? I feel like she's too late for me, because I don't want another highlighter. I don't care. I will not buy another thing that Jaclyn Hill endorses, collaborates on, or releases herself. I'm just not interested. And she's just, I'm done with her, and that's it. I don't care. So I don't know. Are you giving her another chance? Honestly, I think you should wait. Now, here's the kicker. She said this is limited edition, which I feel like is a cash grab to kind of have you get FOMO and rush out and get this without waiting for reviews. Don't fall for this trick. Do not do it, guys. Allow this to marinate in the market, in the YouTube sphere. Allow the PR packages to go out, which they're going out, and they're big and wasteful and glittery and crazy, and I don't think anybody needs to be wasting that much. I just don't think anybody needs to be wasting this much packaging on PR. It's already a waste to be flooding the market with all these new releases as it stands. Like, come on. But wait, I think people are going to either critique this harshly or give her a pass because they feel sorry for her. I don't know which way it's gonna go, but we'll see. And then, I don't know, some people might even stay away from it because they don't want to be involved in the controversy. All I know is you don't need another highlighter. You've gone through this phase. You've had all the highlighters you can friggin' stomach at this point. You don't need another one. There's so many on the market, and so many that are more trustworthy and not as pricey as the Jaclyn Hill ones. I mean, the highlighter palette is $49. The all over loose powder is $32. The intense loose highlighters are $24. Then the brushes are $24 and $20 each. And then there are a few sets. And honestly, I don't think you need to be spending the money on this. Let this sit for a little bit. Let's see what happens. Don't rush out and get this. Relax. Look in your collection. There is nothing exceptional about the shades in this collection. There are champagnes, peaches, and bronzes. You already have this, sis. You already have your perfect highlighter by now. You found it. You do not need to invest in this woman who calls herself a CEO, but is just out here frivolously blowing money on a mansion in LA to like stay and regroup while her mansion in Florida is being redone. Dude, child, she is at events blotting her face with $100 bills. Do you need? No. And she flaunts her wealth like no other. Like, she is just, I don't like this girl anymore. Like, I really was rooting for her. Like, I really liked her. And now I'm just like, no, I can't do it. Nope, not gonna do it. Now, onto the third thing that people have been asking me about. Tati Westbrook, Tatiana if you nasty. Tati Westbrook, Glam Life Guru here on YouTube, the mother of dragons, has released a eyeshadow palette. People seem really happy about this. They are excited that she finally released a color cosmetic under her brand. This is Halo Beauty now instead of Halo, what was the other one called? I don't freaking know. Listen, I don't keep up no more. I can't be bothered. So this is her first makeup product. Before she had the pills. Don't ask me nothing. I don't listen, okay? So it's an eyeshadow palette with how many shades in it? I don't even care. 20, 25, how much in it? There are 24 shades. Okay, so there are 4 rows and 6 columns, right? The 6 columns are color specific. So you have an orange column, like a beige column, a brown column, a more silver black column, then like a cranberry and a vanilla column. And then the rows are different finishes. So you have a matte finish, then you have what she's calling sequin, which is matte infused with glitter. Then you have a metallic row, which is metallic shadows. Then you have a glitter row. And this is where she lost me, okay? First of all, people are like, oh my God, this is so innovative. This is so different. And I'm like, NYX Cosmetics did not walk all this way for Tati to just run and not acknowledge that they were out here doing that before. Y'all ain't gonna have NYX out here looking like a set of fools. No, you're not. NYX Cosmetics did this before where they had the same color in matte, satin, and then more of a shimmery shade. They did this before. They have different themes too. So this is a colorful one. Same color, different finishes. So don't act like this is the first time it's being done. I will not put up with it. I hereby refuse. I am a makeup historian and I am getting shiny because of this blasphemy. How dare you? All right, whatever. It's cute, but it's not the first time it's being done. So the glitter row kills me. Okay, we have come to a point in the makeup world that pressed pigment palettes have become normalized. Before, people would stay away. If it said pressed pigment, they're like, oh my God, what does that mean? I can't get involved. I can't have any parts of it. How dare you? There's ragged pigment. It's going to stain my eyelids. No, 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 no. Now, since we on YouTube have become more aware of what a pressed pigment palette means or entails, we've realized that the ingredients are not necessarily not eye safe. They're just a little bit tricky. They might irritate some people's eyes, but the biggest thing that they're gonna do is stain your eyelids, right? And people are like, oh, that's not such a big a deal. So they said, okay, pressed pigments are fine. And now we've gotten to the point where people are doing more and more pressed glitters. Before, nobody wanted anything to do with pressed glitters. Didn't Wet n Wild have like a pressed glitter palette at some point and people were like, what kind of foolishness is this? Now, all of a sudden, Tatiana is doing it and everybody is like, yay! ColourPop is out here with pressed glitters in their palettes and everybody's like, yay, cheers! And I am waiting for the moment when there is a lawsuit of people getting blinded or getting eye damage from these pressed glitters. They're not eye safe, people. And it feels like it is being so glossed over and it is so normalized now that people don't even blink an eye anymore, pun intended, when they see these pressed glitters in palettes. It's not an eyeshadow palette. It's a pigment palette now because they can't call it an eyeshadow palette and they're trying to cover their asses by saying that. So legally, you can't really come out and say, well, I used this on my eye and I went blind, because no, it's a pressed pigment palette. But they are getting sneaky with how they're doing this. And because it's so normalized, people are not having a second thought about flinging these on their eyes. And I swear to God, somebody is going to come out blind and then we're going to start talking about it. But we need to like really pay attention to what's happening, guys. We need to pay attention to the ingredients that are being put in these palettes and stop glazing over them that they're not an issue. Pressed glitters are not eye safe, and you are taking a risk each time you use these on your eyes. I don't ever support pressed pigments in a palette. If it's in there, I'm not getting it, just out of principle. So Tati would not get my money because she has a whole row of 6 shades of pressed glitter. And I know she did the release video where she even said they're not eye safe. And then she's like, but you know, I put them on my eye anyway. And it's like false advertising. And I hope the FDA cracks down on these people. Like, this is dangerous. At what point are we going to realize this? So she's like, oh, they're really glittery and they set on the eyes and blah, blah, blah. Don't buy this foolishness and blind yourself with our glitter. Them, you hear me? Don't do it. And then it's a very neutral palette. People are like, it's boring, but it's Tati. Like, what did you expect? This is kind of what she does. This is what she wears. So that didn't throw me off because this made sense for her, like the color story. But that pressed glitter like line just pissed me off. And then she has a matte row, and then the sequin row is supposed to be matte infused with glitter. But the glitter kind of shows up if you use a finger and don't move it around too much. Like, sis. You have orange eyeshadows, you have beige eyeshadows, you have a black. Like, do you think her formulation is going to be so innovative and so different from anything you already have in your collection? Do you? Or do you just want to help make another millionaire richer? What are you doing? What are you doing? And we need to stop as beauty content creators, stop falling for the trap too. Because a lot of people that create content here are buying these products so that they can review it on their channel and so they can have content up and they can be the first one and they're gonna get the views, and they're falling for the trap because we are the ones driving the sales of these. Like, we end up being the clowns that are sacrificing our hard-earned money to do reviews, and then we are actually the biggest part of the sales for these companies. Stop it. Not doing it. You don't need this palette. It's a neutral palette with pressed glitters. You're wasting your money. Don't do it. Now let's move on to products that I've gotten questioned about quite a lot. These are from Pat McGrath. Okay, I'm gonna start out with the holiday quads. So there are 3 quads that have been released for holiday, and I was able to see 2 of them in store at Sephora, and I showed these on my Instagram. And people have asked me since I did my Pat McGrath huge swatch fest if I was going to pick these up. And the answer quite simply is no. I am not. I am not interested. I'm not collecting Pat McGrath palettes anymore. I am done at number, what was that, 6? That was the last one for me. I don't want nothing more from Pat McGrath. First of all right, Anti-Pat is Norvina and ABH Part 2, but nobody's talking about it because we love Anti-Pat, right? We love her products, right? She can do no wrong, but understand that she is following right along ABH's footsteps. She has released palettes left and right this year. She has released so much that I'm just like, what is going on? She released singles, then she released this like mini palette that nobody really spoke about because it was so cheap looking. It was just ridiculous. And then she released these little clear palettes with her singles in there in miniature form that you could try out. And again, like, it didn't really go over well. And then next up was Mothership 6 that was released in September, which a lot of people got. But now we have Mothership 7, like this rose palette thing. What in all carnation is going on? So the first of the holiday release was the 3 quads, right? And like I said, I saw these in store. There is a colorful quad with a blue, a green, a purple, and a gold. And initially it looks pretty. These quads are in the Mothership format, so it's the hard plastic packaging, more luxurious. And then all the shades in these quads are special shades. So her Astral shades, her Blitz shades, the 003 and 005, those are the 3 number shades. They're in these palettes. So if you wanted to try out her special shades, this is like the perfect time, right? They're like, oh my god, they have the special shades. Get it now while it's hot. These are $65 for 4 shades. And there are a few people that are like, yeah, what's wrong with that? It's $65. It's Pat McGrath. It's luxury. It's Chanel. It's Dior. But it's not. And her 6-pan eyeshadow palettes from last year, just last year, were $55 when I purchased them for holiday. $55, and I got 6 shades in those. And since then, there's been a price jump. So it went from $55 to $65 now, and then these quads are $65 as well. Why? Why are we doing that? What? as if your products weren't expensive enough, anti-pat. And people are like, well, no, these are special shades, and so they take more for the formulation, and they're pricier, and you know. Don't justify this shit to yourself. Why are you doing that? Why are you justifying paying this much for powdered sugar? Why are you doing that? Why? You don't need to justify this shit to yourself. If you want to spend the $65, spend the $65. But don't make it sound like you're getting like this exquisite, exclusive, amazing. It's colored pigment that you're putting on your eyelids for what? To walk around for a few hours and then wash it off later. Do you need to spend $65 on that? Do you? Why? And if you're gonna get this blue palette, why? You're gonna wear that? How many times are you going to wear that to get the $65 worth? Tell me now. And then the other palette that I saw in store was the bronzy red one. It was cute. It's very neutral, more wearable. Maybe you'll get more use out of it, but do you need it? Do you really need it? Don't you have shades like this already? And they're like, oh, but it's so special. Is it special though? Is it? Because they're indie brands that have these similar shades that, to me, are much better than Pat McGrath eyeshadows. I'm sorry. I'm wearing Pat McGrath right now, and I am not impressed. Unpopular opinion, yes, but I will die on that hill saying these eyeshadows are not worth the money, and anybody can come fight me. I don't really care because it's eyeshadow. You're gonna fight me about eyeshadow? For real though? These are pretty. They're nice to work with. They're easier to blend out. Like the mattes are nice. But the shimmer on my eye, like I am here like, okay, it's not all that, guys. I promise you it is not all that. And I promise you it's not worth $65. And there was another quad that was released. That's a rose quad that was exclusive to her website or something. I don't even know if Sephora has it. The point is you don't need these quads. And then on the tail of that, she released a new Mothership 7 palette. And the fiasco that happened with this initial release was just hilarious to me because people were chasing this palette down like it was the second coming of Jesus, all right? So it was available only on the Selfridges app, and then you had to pay the shipping because it was an international shipment fee. And it's like, people literally spent like $150 to get this fucking palette. Are you serious? I really wanted to ask if people are stupid, but you know what? That is not my call to make. Like, this is on you. I ain't gonna call you stupid. If you love what you love, do what you do. But what are we doing? What are we really fucking doing when we're chasing down a palette for $150? Why? And the palette, can I tell you about how the palette has 4 repeat shades in it? And it's a muted pinky mauve palette. It's not even like exciting. It's not even a palette that I'm like, oh my god, must have. It's like the least appealing, the least innovative, the least interesting palette I've ever seen in my life. Oh, what kind of tired palette this? Antipat, what is going on? Why are we going crazy over this palette? Are you fucking serious? 100, you don't need this palette, guys. When I tell you don't need this palette, I am so serious. I did a swatch video of all the Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes, and trust me, when you look at, I want you to look at that video and realize that very few of these shades are special enough to warrant the price tag. It don't make no sense, Sway, and you shouldn't be trying to justify this fuckery. Stop it. Stop it. Auntie Patricia, I love Auntie Pat, all right? And I'm out here like, go Auntie Pat, but what the fuck? Stop it. You don't. No, you don't. Stop. You don't need it. Don't get it. Now, another brand that has been releasing left and right and center is Huda Beauty. Now, Huda Beauty is a little bit wiser because she's not just releasing palettes. Like, she's mixing it up. She released the eyeliner. She has loose powder. She has concealer. Like, is she doing a primer? Lash glue? What should I do? Something, but she mixes it up. It's not just like one tone eyeshadow palettes all the time. Like, she's doing different things. But Irwa, stop release things, Huda. Sit down, please. No, listen. So everybody's going crazy about this Mercury Retrograde palette. Oh my god, it's so great. You have to get it. And I was not even remotely interested when I heard about this palette and saw this palette. And I went in store and was able to see this palette in person, and my thoughts were accurate. It's very choppy, chalky pastel on my skin tone. I don't need this. For what? This is pastel. If you are not light skinned, don't look at this. Do not look at this palette. And then she has the different textures in the palette, which I'll give her. She does pretty palettes. She does pretty textures. She like brings you in. And I'm not gonna lie, like this palette wasn't pretty. But then you cover up like the fun pop of purple and teal, and you're left with a basic ass neutral palette that's very pale. You don't need it. You don't need it. And look at my skin tone. Look at these swatches, child. Where am I going with these? Where would I be going? And then the glitter thing. No, darling. Another pressed pigment palette. Why you need this? Why do you need this? Think about it. Cover up the colorful shades. First of all, how often are you going to wear the colorful shades? I'll wait. How often? Not very? Okay. So then why are you even thinking about the colorful shades? Because they make it so interesting. You're not going to really use them that much. So the other shades that you're going to use are these mauvey, pinky, pastel shades. Do you have other neutral shades like that? You're good. Do you have glittery, shimmery shades? You're good. You don't need this. None of us need this. And even if Mercury is in retrograde, you do not need to make the mistake and buy this palette. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Stop. You don't need the palette. Look on it for real. You don't need it. And then she released three 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. That is what? New nudes or something so? Now, I will be fair. This was a wise release. There are 3 palettes in neutral tones, like neutral color stories, and it's a light, medium, and deep. So she's spanning the range of skin tones. Not to say that you can't get the light one if you're deeper in skin tone, or that you can't get the dark one because you're too pale. You can get whatever you want. This is just giving options to people. And these are cute. Like, it's not a bad release. Like, wise choice. They're Huda. And the colors are cute. I'm not gonna lie to you. I swatched these in store and I was like, okay, cute. And then I looked at it again and I'm like, every single one of her palettes is just this in combination. Like the mauves palette that she had, the rich browns, like all her palettes kind of look similar to this. So I'm like, is she just recycling shades? Because I feel like she's recycling shades. And if y'all want to be caught up in that foolishness, then go ahead. But if you have a couple of her palettes already, like the rose gold, is there a rose gold palette and a desert dusk? These shades are just being redone. You don't need this unless you never had those palettes and you really want a neutral palette. It's okay-ish, but Huda's formula is not the best. And I found that using her palettes, like her little 9-pan palettes, they're not the best. Like, I've had better. I've done better. So I don't need these palettes. And so you can skip this too. Do you have neutrals already? You don't need this, but alright, I'm going to be honest with you. I can see this benefiting somebody who has a small collection, or they just want a neutral palette that's easy, ready to go. Okay, I get it. Alright, but you don't need this if you have a good collection. You don't need this at all. Now let's move on to the queen of ridiculousness, because I just cannot. So Miss Nuffus 2000 herself, Narvina, from ABH Cosmetics. I already spoke about this in a car chat, okay? She needs to stop releasing fucking palettes. I'm so sick of her ass. But here's what really irked me about this. She finally announced that she has a spin-off brand from ABH Cosmetics. So this has been in the works, and that is why she released the 3 Pro palettes. That is why they did the glitters. Now they released eyelashes and something else underneath the brand. All because she was gearing up to have her own spin-off little kiosk in Sephora. What she call it? The own display, right? All along she's been giving us the runaround, right? Oh, the retailers need us to release more collections, smaller collections, so it will drive sales. Oh, there was a production issue, so I had to release things out of schedule. Oh, there were WikiLeaks, so then I had to release the palettes. Oh, my dog had kittens, so then I had to release. Like, every fucking release is a different excuse. Narvina, what is going on? And what I really had liked about Narvina was that she wasn't yearning to be in the spotlight. Like, she didn't want to be an influencer. She was behind the scenes, and then is like, once she step out, and then she and Amrezy got friendly. And Amrezy is a glam goddess. Okay, Amrezy, that's her brand. Like, Amrezy's out here like, hey, I am out here. It is probably hard to be friends with Amra and not get sucked into wanting to be glam too. Because Amra will have you out here dressing up, girl. Because every day she fly, okay? So they became friends. And I feel like Amra rubbed off on Narvina. And Narvina came out of her shell, and she's like, I'm here and I'm sexy and I'm pretty and look at my eyeshadow. I mean, at the end of the day, she's a pretty girl and she has fun with color, and I feel like the spotlight kind of excites her now and she wants to be in it, you know? She no longer wants to be the little mouse in the corner, like just behind the brand. Like, she's out here and now she wants her own brand. And I mean, nothing's necessarily wrong with that, but the whole way she went about it, it's just, it left a really nasty taste in my mouth, and I don't like things in my mouth. So I really am not. So I went in store and saw this, because you know me enough already, so me love go sitting. So I saw this in store, the whole collection from her. So like I said, she has her own display now. So there are the 3 big pro palettes, which were the first products for the launch. Then she has now 2 little 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. Hey, you coming for Huda? What's happening, ABH? You coming for Huda? So now she has those. She has eyelashes and glitters. So I don't know, like, this is more of the fun side of ABH, is the spin-off. I don't know. But let me go ahead and tell you about the 9-pan little eyeshadow palettes that are abbreviated versions of the larger ones. So there's a purple one and there's a green and orangey one, which are spin-offs of the original palettes. So you have a purple one, an orange one, and a blue one, right? So these aren't duplicate shades. They are different shades that complement the other color stories, right? And for me, these are more muted, subtle colors. So if you wanted to try these out, but you wanted more subtle shades, these would be the ones you would test out. But the shades are so similar to the existing palettes that it's ridiculous. Now, when I swatched these, a couple of the shades were really pigmented, felt really smooth, but I feel like they're thinner than the pro palettes. And then the shimmers are really trash. Like, you're gonna need to use a damp brush or like a glitter glue or something, because those shimmers are trash. And these are mostly matte though, which is kind of the theme of the brand, which I actually like, because I like mattes a lot. So the purple palette it just felt so thin and choppy, but the neons in it were pretty, and then the shimmers again were trash. So I'm like, what the hell? I didn't like these compared to the pro palettes. And then when I swatched shades from the pro palettes against these, so I did like a swatch of similar shades across the board, with the first shade being the ones from the 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, and then the other shades being from the pro palettes. You can see that there are tons of similar shades. You don't need all these palettes. If you already have the pro palettes, you don't need these little 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. If you wanted to try the pro palettes, but you're like, no, I want something cheaper, the little 9-pan eyeshadow palettes may be your better bet. But just be mindful, it's not the same texture. The 9-pan palettes just are thinner. They don't feel as rich and as buttery, and the shimmers are really trash. So I don't even think that they're worth picking up, if I'm honest. And if you wanted colorful, bold shades like this, stick to indie brands that have bold, colorful color stories that actually have better formulations than this, because I don't even think these are that great, if I'm honest with you. I don't like Anastasia's formula, and the more and more I try her palettes, the more and more I realize I just don't like her formulation. So I don't know, like, this release of the brand and this unveiling was so tacky. It was so underhanded, and I didn't like the approach at all. It just felt like she was stringing us along with these different excuses, and then she just came out and be like, oh, guess what? It was poorly done. ColourPop, Tarte have spin-off brands, and they didn't do it like that. They didn't make it out to be this hidden secret and then just threw it in our faces and expected us to just go crazy over it. So this is poorly executed. It was terrible, and I don't know how far this is gonna go at all. Now, I wanted to talk about the Carli Bybel palette because I did get to see that in store, and I wanted to just share the swatches with you guys. So I saw this palette. Poor Carli. Carli didn't even get a time to shine. Poor Carli. Oh no, poor thing. So I swatched this in store. For me, it's like the Norvina palette crossed with Soft Glam, crossed with, what's the other one that she had? The other neutral looking palette of the dozen palettes that she just released. It didn't blow me away. They have shades that I've seen already from ABH. The red shade, we've seen it in Modern Renaissance. The purple and the silvers, whatever, the neutral tones, again, we've seen it. The ivory. The only thing that pops out is that golden olive looking tone, and it's like, poor thing. This is so boring and so tired, and if you have any eyeshadows, you probably have shades like this already. And the formulation, again, is not like blowing me away. Jackie Aina's palette was much more exciting than this. This is so boring. The palette is pretty, like the packaging, gorgeous, but tired as me. Me can't, no, no, Carli, sorry. The palette, they could have really stayed. But me not gonna dwell upon it too long because me can't bother. Colourpop. Colourpop. Let's talk about Colourpop because they're already pissing me off. Colourpop, are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop? What kind of foolishness is this? Every 5 minutes, like Jesus Christ, like they took like a week off and they posted a meme like, oh, we're not releasing something. They made fun of not releasing something, and I'm like, but the joke's really on you because like it's not really that funny, like you're stupid. And now they're releasing like what is it, what's it called, Frozen 2. They're releasing 2 palettes. Wasn't there a Disney release 2? And then they did a collaboration with Itty Bitty Titty. I don't know what is going on, guys. What is going on? And then they released a neutral. I can't keep up. I don't want to keep up. They keep doing too much, and I can't keep contributing to this corporate greed and this massive pollution that's happening. The plastic straws that we are banning and plastic bags here on Long Island where I have to pay 5 cents if I don't bring a reusable bag. That is not sufficient. The waste is from higher up, like it's above us now, okay? This is from the companies, the corporations that are ruining our rainforests, like really depleting our natural resources to create these consumer goods for us. That's where the trouble starts. It's not us purchasing it, because at the end of the day, we're purchasing the products at the end of the line. This is all upstream waste. When we can rein them in from overproducing and just creating these massive releases all the goddamn time, that's when we will really address the problem. So we need to stop supporting these brands and making it seem okay for them to release things non-stop, because if we stop supporting them, if the demand is no longer there, the supply will also kind of scale back. So that's what we really need to do. So Colourpop, stop the foolishness. Stop it right now. Y'all, stop collecting this foolishness. Stop buying them. Like, stop supporting them. Stop encouraging this behavior. This is such bullshit. Colourpop, stop it. And I'm hoping there's like a change and there's like a turn in the beauty community right now where we are realizing like the amount of waste and like stepping back a little bit and being a little bit more introspective and a little bit more selective. So these brands will stop releasing so much and so many new brands will stop popping up left and right. Can we stop? Can we fucking stop? I swear to God, I'm about to go over to Colourpop in LA and punch somebody in the face. I swear. I'm so tired. Let me tell you who else makes me tired. James Charles and Morphe. What is this? What is it? Y'all saw this? Y'all saw this foolishness? So James Charles, he was like, oh, announcement. This is going to be so great. Oh my God, oh my God. He released a miniature version of his existing palette. Girl, if you don't stop. It's a miniature version of the existing. You heard me, nothing to change. Well, it changed a little bit because now there's a mirror and it's a smaller size and it's cheaper. So if you already bought the big old one, you probably feel like a whole clown because you could have got the smaller one with a mirror, more travel friendly, and it's still the same goddamn formula. Are you serious? This is what? He didn't want to release anything else because he feels like he perfected the eyeshadow color range selection. Child, if I never hear some, yo, child, if I didn't think James Charles was already so full of himself, I wouldn't know what to think right now. Is he serious? What kind of clownery is this? You serious? Be honest with us. Morphe was not releasing anything else with you because they knew that the Shane Dawson palette was gonna come out and your shit was gonna flop. So they're like, you know what, let's not even invest too much in this. Let's just do the same thing in a smaller palette and run with that because we probably were contractually obligated to do a second round with you. Let's just do it. This felt like such an afterthought. So here it is. Now, let me wrap up with the final collection, the one that I am getting, the one that I've already gotten because you don't know my life, okay? You can't judge me, first of all, second of all, third of all, whatever. But this is a collection that makes sense. This is a collection that is beautiful and I was here for it. It's the Melt Cosmetics Holiday Collection. And it's the, I don't even know what I'm calling it. Let me see what the name of it is. I don't even care. It's the Amor Eternal Collection. So there are 2 eyeshadow palettes that I got because, oh my God, they're so beautiful. There is a set of 4 eyeliners, so colorful, bold eyeliners. There is a brush collection And I believe there is also a highlighter, right? Is there anything else being released? I think that's the gist of it. I do believe. Let me make sure. Yes. So, oh, no. There are liquid lipsticks as well. So, beautiful, Amor Eterno. This, I mean, the visuals on this are beautiful. It's all about one of the founders. She has Mexican heritage. I don't know if she was born in Mexico or if both her parents are Mexican. I just know that she has Mexican heritage. So this has like the sugar skull theme, which is big in Mexican culture. It's like colorful and bold and bright, and it's, what is it, like the Day of the Dead? Is that their celebration? I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know a lot about it, but just know that it is circled around Mexican culture, and it is so gorgeous. So there's a palette with bold oranges, yellows, neutrals, and reds. But that's not even the palette that I'm all about. I'm all about the Muerte palette, which is blues and teals and deep burgundy reds. Child, oh my god, it looks so good, and I already have it, so I'm just teasing you guys. I should probably pop it up. So you know what, I'm just gonna show you what the swatches look like on my skin tone, because these are beautiful. Now the highlighter, I'm over highlighters. I don't want a highlighter. I'm good. Cream gel eyeliners, I'm good. I'm not using those. Like, we still do those? I don't think we still do those. No one cares. So I did not want that either. And brushes, I have all, like, I have brushes, girl. I don't need no more brushes. So easy skip for me. And if you have brushes, you don't need these. Like, stop. And Melt is very expensive. These palettes were $58. I don't know, like, $58 is a lot. So Melt is pushing it, but you know, those palettes were really exciting. So much so that I wanted to get them. So you know it must have pulled me in, because I'm over here like shopping block, don't get nothing. And it's so pretty, guys. I cannot get over how gorgeous these are. This is one that I don't know, like, I'm excited, and people are excited about these. So let me know if you're picking these up, or if you picked up any of these other collections and what you think. I know there are people out there that are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. Like, this is what being human is all about. You don't have to agree with everything that everybody said. You have a right to your opinion, challenge. So do I. And you can't fight me over mine. So here's what I'm saying. We don't need to be buying all these products. We don't need to. And you can call me a hypocrite all you want because I have all those things behind me. But that's the point. I have all those things behind me. So learn from my mistake, and we don't need this. And we need to, you know, rein ourselves in. Okay, reel it in. Let's stop doing this. Let's block this shopping situation that's going on, because we don't need to be making millionaires richer. We need to worry about our own wealth, okay? Instead of making these millionaires richer and making sure their launches are such a success because we want to show our support, you don't need to buy none of this stuff, okay? Your life does not depend on it. What I want you to do is take that trip, take that vacation, treat yourself to a nice dinner out. Like, take that $58 and go buy yourself some Red Lobster. No, Red Lobster is such trash. Oh my god. But if you like Chipotle, or, you know, if you, I don't know, like Ruth Chris. I have not been to Ruth Chris. Can you imagine? But like, if there's a steakhouse that you like, or like maybe you're like really into seafood, because king crab legs are expensive, girl. It's like $50 a pound. So treat yourself to that, which is what? Who? I want some crab legs. Oh my god, yes. There's this place in the city called The Boil. I went there the other day, and they had the most delicious like crab legs and crawfish, and I was just, oh my god, that was so good. But that's what I'm saying, like, do stuff like that. Like, have experiences rather than spending all your money on makeup. We don't need this. Stop it. We are team shopping block, okay? We're not doing this foolishness no more. Okay? Okay, let's do, yeah, we're not doing it. No, don't shop for these products, but if you're gonna shop through them, consider using my links. I don't know, they're affiliate links, which will give me a small sales commission off your purchase, which I don't want you to actually purchase. But if you are gonna sacrifice for yourself, just go ahead and give me a kickback. I don't know. You know what? Let me stop, because I can't. But, you know, those links, if you use them, thank you so much, because it does help me to put right back into the channel. And maybe I can get a Birkin bag. I'm not getting a Birkin bag. Like, my AdSense is so low, you don't even understand. But anyway, go ahead, use my links if you feel like it. Otherwise, go ahead and follow me on social media. So we have Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. We have fun over there. We're a little scandalous, not too PG. We're very vulgar. You know, I post memes and stuff because I have fun with that stuff. And until my next video, which will be equally as scandalous and will be very soon, I will talk to you. Bye, guys.